Alex Caruso, a tremendous asset and obviously a wonderful player, but certainly a luxury, has been traded for Josh Giddey, who fell out of favor in the rotation in the playoffs as Oklahoma State flamed out in the playoffs. That is a very interesting player with a lot of skills as a playmaker and ball handler and shooter and scorer, a guy that you can run a lot of point stuff through. Super talented, very young.
21.
Very, very young. Incredible ceiling on Josh Giddey. I think we've gone far enough into the description of Josh Giddey to also mention the incredibly salacious rumors and stories that were also out there about Josh Giddey, where a very, very young woman's Instagram feed had pictures of her with him, and she had been bragging about it, and it was an underage relationship that he had to answer for and was straight up scandalous in Oklahoma City. So that's an interesting component of this that we'll have to sort through.
Certainly you would think the vetting of that has been done.
In terms of
acquiring a player?
Yeah, no, the vetting in terms of the potential legal danger from the team's perspective, not the moral.
No.
Not the moral acceptance.
The legal. Yeah,
from the legal, you're not trading Alex Caruso for this if you're in trouble from a legal perspective.
Well, yeah, and from a moral I mean, Caruso seems to check both of those boxes, right? So I was just going to get into a scenario that said Alex Caruso would not have a fit for this team if you were to move on from DeMar and Zach.
Wow.
But here, the Bulls are telling you things, we aren't running it back, right? This is a guy that they may have probably. Alex Caruso was a guy that Karnisovas maybe coveted more than any player on his roster.
I mean, just about any winning team would kill for Alex Caruso.
And now the number one seed in the Western Conference this past season acquires a first-team all-defender.
Well, he was second team because they put all the bigs on the first team.
I'm calling him. Every GM in the league wants that guy.
Who can shoot threes and handle. Yes. Who can shoot threes and handle. I remember Alex Caruso was once called, I think it was a writer from CBS Sports, called him the LeBron James of being LeBron James's teammate. And I loved that.
That's a great...
It's a great turn of phrase because he was the perfect teammate for LeBron when the Lakers won the title.
Yeah.
Caruso wins a title because he was exactly what LeBron needed. Guy who could shoot, guy who could defend, guy who could handle a little bit.
A guy didn't need to be pulled aside and say, hey, do your job. Yeah.
Complete motor.
Yep.
Constant motor. LeBron absolutely loved him, was crushed that the Lakers weren't able to keep him, and that's why there were Lakers trade rumors regarding that. Let's throw open the phone lines here because at 312-644-6767, this is probably the first of many moves. This is the first domino for what will be, hopefully, and I would suspect, a lot of moves in this Bulls offseason. At 312-644-6767, the Bulls trade Alex Caruso on his own to Oklahoma City, to the Thunder, in exchange for 21-year-old, highly skilled Australian and controversial dater Josh Giddey. Goodness. Shane, as our social media explorer, as our youth culture correspondent.
Sure, yeah.
Can you dig into the Josh Giddey stuff as best you can? I see a story here from the New York Post of just a few days ago that he was just photographed with a model in the midst of his underage dating controversy. The model, though, is 23.
Yeah, I mean, be careful saying in the midst of, because he was cleared of everything from the police department out there. They couldn't find anything that corroborated the claims.
Okay.
Like he was cleared of that.
He was cleared of that. It's
I don't know
gone.
if many people believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, allegedly, I don't.
The Newport Beach Police Department in California announced that Josh Giddey would not face charges. They were unable to corroborate any criminal activity. So it's just going to be something he lives with as a reputation stain, it seems, right?
Yeah, he's with Maki Lesko now. She's like a Polish model. She's a very pretty girl.
Okay.
Fair, throwing allegedly on top of all that.
Yeah, she's allegedly a very pretty girl.
Allegedly. Wait, I'm seeing a picture.
Yeah, I see.
Can confirm. So Josh Giddey. That's a really talented, interesting piece. From a basketball perspective, that is a really talented, interesting piece. It sucks that that's what Caruso had to go for. Is that a better piece than they would have gotten from Golden State, where the talk was like Moses Moody. And
it might be
pick.
It might be a higher ceiling piece.
I think they might have gotten a very high ceiling offensive basketball piece in exchange for Alex Caruso.
In the third year of a 4-year, $41 million contract, eligible for an extension this offseason. So you would think that those talks may happen. May. You don't need to. You have 2 years of control, of control there.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he was faced the press in May, admitted there were, quote, days where you don't feel like getting out of bed as he dealt with the investigations.
Yeah. So I know he didn't feel like talking to media there for a while.
That's he's coming to. He was in Oklahoma City. This is Chicago, big boy.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to probably acknowledge it, even if it's at least in the in the initial availability. But maybe clean slate seemed to help a lot of people, and maybe in this case, a clean slate for Giddy. If he was dropped and cleared of charges, I'm not an investigator, so.
So it's interesting. So during the playoffs, from the basketball perspective, Josh Giddey fell out of the rotation. He was the number 6 overall pick in 2021, and he's a great part of their transition offense. He's a great passer. He's a really good ball handler and took a lot of pressure off Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. A decent rebounder as well. So a good player and a good versatile player. He struggles with shooting the basketball.
Well, unfortunately, that's the Bulls' Achilles heel. They need, maybe this is where they go start getting shooters, though. They need.
Well, he's not one of them.
No, but they've lacked good ball handler. They've lacked a strong ball handler bringing it up the floor. I mean, think about who's bringing it. Zach has been that guy a lot of times. DeMar brings it up a lot of times. Caruso a few times. But, I mean, Kobe obviously has a point, but Kobe isn't I don't know if he's a true point. He's probably a bit more of a.
No, I think Kobe is a scorer who can play some points.
Exactly.
And that's great.
Right.
But if Josh Giddey is a guy who can run your team from the ball handling perspective and, rebounds, we'll have to check what the defensive reputation is on Josh Giddey, but seems to be an interesting piece to think about as a young player with possibilities. Not a great shooter, but real good ball handler, real good passer.
Will be. I have reason to watch the Paris Olympic Games now because he's on Australia's team. So that'll be something to tune in for at middle of the afternoon, I guess. But yeah, this is look. You don't give up a player like Alex Caruso that's wanted by every team in basketball without and acquire a major question mark. I think there's question marks, no doubt, but certainly putting the moral compass part of it aside.
Yeah,
I think being cleared of any wrongdoing and taking he was clearly. I mean, he's been subject to trade rumors the second he was benched in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they were like, this guy's not a part of the future.
The Mavericks stopped guarding him. That's a bad sign. So 21-year-old player that the Mavericks stopped guarding.
Yeah.
Sounds like Lonzo Ball a little bit before he could shoot.
Yeah.
Before he developed the shot. So maybe this is a project of sorts for the shooting coach, for Peter Patton to work on. An extremely skilled young player. Developmentally, though, trouble shooting the basketball. This is Shad on the South Side on Parkins and Spiegel. What's up, Shad? How are you?
What's up,
Shad? That was great speech until Shane decided to Thanos my afternoon. It's egregious. This city deserves more. It's absolutely ridiculous that 24 hours ago I called you and I told you the Bulls had a future. Did you not give me credit for my global international outlook? I'm going to tell you this, Speaks. Yeah. I take it all back. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. The only guy that had NBA respect in every locker room, in every organization, every front office in the league, you get back a white point guard that can't dunk. It's absolutely ridiculous. No disrespect to anything going on else in this organization. I don't care about the offseason. This is another Lonzo Ball try. Throw it a dart. That's what it was. AK's a joke. He's a liar. This team deserves better. This city deserves better. How do you bring him in and think that that's not going to stunt the growth of Kobe White? Again, just like you did with DeRozan. It stunted Patrick Williams' growth, and now we're sitting here questioning, does he have a ceiling? They do the same junk again. I would have rather see them go get Derrick Rose and give the fans something to cheer about.
No. If you're trying to win, you're trying to build a team, you're trying to give yourself a shot. I think this is a step towards a step backwards, without a doubt. And it's a step towards what I think is going to be an active offseason of unloading and giving up on the dream of the mix. I don't think this is a sign that they think Lonzo Ball is ready to play. I think it's a sign that they can't wait around for this core and this group to work, which is what Arturas said in April. So I think we always knew that losing Alex Caruso could be a part of this, that's for sure. But I thought it would be for draft pick compensation on top of a young piece or two. And we'll see if there's more draft pick compensation that comes. We'll continue talking about it with you. Phone lines are open at 312-644-6767.